Welcome to this episode of Ask the Guitar Coach, the only podcast where you get answers to all your guitar-related questions. If you're interested in developing your guitar skills and reaching your music goals, please send me an email at the email address ioannis@ioannis.org. That is ioannis@ioannis.org, so that I can let you know about all the different packages of elite guitar coaching and how you can get private coaching by me. Without further ado, let's go to our question for the day. What kind of guitar pick should I use for rock metal guitar? So here's a really good question. It's short, it's specific, it's very well defined, and this is the kind of question I enjoy answering because I can answer it specifically. So there are specific specifications that make this choice quite easy. The first thing you need to do is make sure the pick is hard. So you don't want one of the soft or medium picks. You want a hard pick. The second thing is make it fairly small. Now, this would depend if you're playing with a band or if you're playing live, standing up and everything, or if you're playing sitting down, recording for studio. If you're playing standing up, running around the stage, then having a bigger pick might be beneficial. But on the other hand, it also gives you more leeway to hold it in different ways, and then it will go deeper inside the strings and catch up there and mess up with your speed. So if you're sitting down like I am and recording for studio, then I would say go for a small pick as well. The next thing, try to have a pointed pick, a pick that has an edge, a pointed edge, so that it can be used on various different techniques. I won't go into detail now. So these are the three main specifications that I used. It has to be very hard, it has to be small, fairly small, and it has to have a point. If you're playing live, I will repeat that, and if you do a lot of live playing, standing up and everything, because then you need to offer more, there's going to be more of a chance of missing the string with a very small pick, then you can use the same specifications but make the pick a little bigger. So the one pick that I found that has those characteristics is the Jim Dunlop Jazz 3. Now, for most of you, this is going to be a well-known pick. Many good players are using this pick and they are endorsing the use of this pick. And the reason is that it has all the characteristics we talked about before. So this is the Jim Dunlop Jazz 3. As you can see, it is a small pick, okay? It is very hard, it's like impossible to bend almost without breaking it, and it is quite pointed right here. It's not a rounded edge. Now obviously this is a little bit worn out because I've been using it, but still. Now this is the small size, okay? There is exactly the same pick in a slightly larger size for exactly the reason I told you before. If someone is playing standing up and wants to have more of a chance of not hitting the string while he's running around on stage and kicking the speakers down and everything, and being a rock star, then a bigger pick might help more. So this is the basic things that you need to keep into account. Now, personally, I would go one step further, and this is taking these characteristics and just adding a couple of more things to them. So this right here, let me see if I can get it even closer on camera, right here, okay? This is the John Petrucci Jim Dunlop model. This is a Jazz 3 pick, it's black, but with a couple of modifications. One of the modifications is that it has a easier to grip surface right here. So it's not so smooth, so that when you grip it, it doesn't slip so much. The next thing, it's a little bigger than the regular Jazz 3. That means that it can be used, it's more easy to use for live performances. And the final thing is that this has very pointed point right here, very sharp point, and also a gliding material at the end of the pick. So basically it's like a custom made Jazz 3. This is my favorite pick. It's been for a few years. This is my go-to pick. Before that, it was the Jazz 3 because it takes care of all the different elements that you might need for good quality rock guitar, metal guitar pick. So there you have it. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you on the next episode of Ask the Guitar Coach. Until then, keep sending me your questions and I'll do my best to answer them in a future video. Bye bye.